Hello, friends. Welcome to Squared Plans, where creative planning and organization comes to life. I'm Stephanie, and today we're going to be doing a flip through of both my March and April after the pen spreads here in my catch-all Franken planner system. I'll just be going really quickly through a little bit of my planner setup with my new spring refresh, along with the after the pen spreads for those 2 months. I've got 3 months in here right now, so it's pretty chunky. Happy to get a lot of these extra inserts out. So if that sounds good, let's go ahead and jump in. First off, I have this cover that I made that I actually have a dual reversible backer here that I flipped, and I'm now using the inside for the outside, if you will. And I'm liking that. I just like the bit of spring freshness that comes with that cover. And again, a DIY project that I did in my spring refresh. I also have my sticky dash here, and this is a DIY project as well, if you want to know more about that. I have my 6 tab sections, and my first section is my inbox. I have a dashboard there, and then I used that with my getting things done method inserts from my Etsy shop. So I've been using this pretty well actually, but I do use this more for long-term items versus things that I need to get to immediately. Next, we have my goals section, and again, I have another dashboard there that I created. We have my goals set up. I have my Q1 goals complete. I have yet to fill out my Q2 goals. If you've been following my channel, you'll know that I've been going through some sciatica issues, which is why I've been absent from this channel for a while. And I just really haven't been able to foresee goal setting for this next quarter. I am kind of trying to tackle things month by month though, so I may just leave this as is and start fresh in Q3 if I start to get better and feel, back to at least 80 to 90% of the way I did before all this sciatica stuff started. So if that's what ends up happening, then I will do a Q3 setup with you guys at the end of June. But for now, this is how it stands. My next section is my productivity section. In here, I have a few projects that I've been wanting to tackle, including doing a morning routine insert. I do have my master schedule here, which I haven't really looked at in a while just because, like I said, I've had some other health issues distracting me from my normal routine. And then on the back, I do want to do something else here, so we'll see how that goes. I've also put in here my reusable travel insert that I made backwards, as you can see, but still very useful and cute. So I'm going to keep it in here and then reuse it as needed for trips that are upcoming. Next, we're getting into my schedule section. This is where I put all of my dated inserts, and I have those divided up with these top tabs that help me navigate through all the pages I usually will look at on a daily basis. So this first part of the planner is just like a year at a glance. And then I have my first tab, which is my yearly future log. This is going very well, although I do miss the color coding I had previously with more of a rainbow color coding. The neutral color coding I went with this year is a little bit hard to distinguish from one another, but I'm still using it and I'm making that work for 2026. Then we have my work schedule, which we are not going to flip through because I am doing some work stuff still, and so I don't want to be sharing that. I also have another tab behind that, which is my yearly sales. And that's another thing that I kind of keep under wraps, but it's basically a perpetual calendar of my Etsy sales on a daily basis. And then the final tab in the section is my budget planner. And I did do a video on that a couple of years ago, pretty much using the same routine of like a bill pay monthly view and then like a month overview of income, expenses, savings, that kind of thing. So that's my main routine for my budget, but nothing really extreme in that arena. So we're going to go ahead and jump ahead past all of that and go on to the next section, which is my agenda planner. So I'll be normally navigating through this section with the top tabs here under agenda, but since we're already into May, you won't see those tabs intermixed in here. The first page of my agenda planner is my monthly overview, and this is just a monthly schedule of dates, appointments, things that are going on. I do usually set up all of the monthly pages in my planner view in the same theme. So this one I did this kind of cherry blossom theme, and I believe there was a plan with me on it. So you can check that out if you just want to see more about the planning on this one and the setup. Then I have my monthly goals and weekly tasks insert right behind that. The inserts that you're seeing are all from my Etsy shop, so if you're interested, check the links down below and it will guide you to the various items that I'm using in this planner. So I did do a setup video, I believe, for my March goals. As you can see, March started off okay, and then it just really dwindled down to not so much getting done because of that sciatica issue I mentioned. But I did try to keep up with as much as I could when I could. So it was just a great guide to see how far behind I got and a way to just, say, okay, I can let this go, or this really needs to be done, and make adjustments as I needed to. The first weekly after that is this kind of coffee week, which was super fun. I'm using a hourly dashboard layout from my shop. It's an hourly dashboard lined version. There's also a grid version as well, which I may go back to. I kind of saw an old video of mine recently and I was like, oh, I really like the grid too. So you may be seeing that in the future in my setup. But for now, I'm using the lined version. And basically, it's got 2 weeks on, a week on this page and a week on that page facing each other, which is nice. This is more of like a dashboard view, and this is like a condensed hourly view, which I use to do my time blocking on this side. And then over here is basically all of the to-dos I want to get done in the week on specific days if I can, and then any kind of like highlights on specific days I'll call out as well on this side. But this is the way I've been using it, and it's going to look pretty much the same as far as how I'm using it from week to week. But this theme was pretty fun with just all these coffee vibes. I really like a chaotic coffee theme. And here is the next week. This one was a reading-focused theme. I really enjoyed pulling out an older kind of layout style that I haven't used yet, which was like the alternating day layout style. Pretty sure that there were no play with me's on this, so I'm calling it out just so you can kind of get ideas for your own planner if you're using like a dashboard layout or even this hourly dashboard that I have from my shop. A way to kind of mix it up is to do like this alternating day where you actually kind of cover the day with something big, like either a bigger sticker or background or something, and then you use a box or something else to lay over it to actually put in the functional items. So that's what I did here. I used to do that in my horizontal as well, and I just really like that idea. So it was fun to pull that back out and try that in this dashboard layout. And you can see how things went. Just a pretty fun theme. This next theme was in preparation of the vacation I was taking. So the sciatica stuff started before all this, and it just kind of bled into my vacation, which I was able to move around enough, but really not much, like I had planned. So the vacation, it was good. It served its purpose of meeting up with family and stuff, but I really couldn't do everything that I had planned to do. I just wasn't as mobile as I wanted to be. However, the theme was fun. I really enjoyed putting in a nice, travel collage, and I used some JoJo paper shop stickers, which I got at her sticker book recently. Those were really fun to use. Same ones that I used in that reusable travel insert that I showed earlier. So since most of my vacation was through this next week, I decided to use this spread more as like a memory keeping spread. I haven't had time to like print pictures and put that out, but I set it up ahead of time so that it was ready to go, and I saved a few items from the trip. So then maybe I can do like a little bit of like a scrapbooking travel page on this side. And then, like I said, I just kind of filled in what we did each day here as more of a memory keeping type thing. So another idea, if you don't have a lot of plans going on, but maybe have something fun going, or just want to do more of a memory keeping style spread, this might be a way for you to do that. So that was for the month of March, and then I have a couple more monthly pages in that cherry blossom theme. And I keep everything again the same as far as how the theme looks. Over here, we've got some work tasks, goal tasks, social tasks, and book time habits that I tracked. And then my March to-dos. And then over here is usually where I have my social schedule for the month. And you can see it kind of really fell off near the end of the month as things got bad. And on the back, I also was keeping my social stats as well. So I have that there for reference. So now we're on to April. And in April, I know I did not do a setup video on this because I was in the throes of this sciatica thing, but I know I kind of set this up sporadically. Like when I was having a good afternoon and I wasn't feeling that bad, I could sit for a little bit, I would set things up and try to get things done in my planner just so that I would keep engaged with it and not leave it to die. So I set this one up with kind of a springtime theme. I used I think this is just a P tape rule and some quotes from a Happy Planner book and some washi as well. So this was the monthly view. I did not set up any monthly goals for the month of April. I just really could not figure out, how the month was going to go. Things would get better and then they would get way worse and then they would be okay and then they would get worse again. And so it's just really hard to plan and make progress on something when you just don't know how you're going to feel from day to day. So I just let this be for the month and I'm okay with it. I did set it up in case I did end up getting better like I'd planned, but it just did not happen. Then we've got my next week, which this was my week back from vacation, and I remember that I had nothing set up, so I just started using a gray highlighter and filled in what I needed to for the week just to keep me on track. And then I added in this PET tape maybe like on Tuesday or Wednesday, and once the week had began, just add a little color into the spread. So that worked out pretty well, and it kept me at least organized enough so that I would not forget things and get things done. This I had actually set up before I left for vacation. I had the idea to use these stickers, so it was already pre-set up and ready to go before I even left in mid-March. So it was nice. It was ready to go. I went ahead and put this in. The reason this one wasn't set up was because this was Easter week, and I thought I would do like an Easter week theme, but again, no, things did not go to plan. So this one was really pretty and fun. I really like the honeybee theme. Kept me engaged for sure. And I think this was one of my better weeks as far as how I felt throughout April. This one was a surprise. So I had, like I said, one of those better weeks. So I set this up and it was an afternoon where I had, some time. I was able to sit for a couple hours actually and just plan this spread out. And I really like how it turned out. It was very eclectic and has lots of vintage vibes. So it was nice to have that ready to go. And I did use this fully, as you can see. And then this one, I think it was more of a, here are some stickers I want to use. Let's throw them down and see what comes out. And I just ended up doing a simple outline, kind of a border theme. And that looked pretty good, I thought, in the end. Did keep it kind of simple as far as like what I was doing over here. I just really used the functionality as much as I could at the time. But I like this theme kind of about paint, just like a creative week. And the color scheme was really nice as well. Oh, and then we're still in this last week, so I'm still working on this. This was another one that I had kind of thrown together. There is some stuff on the back of this, so I'm not going to lift this up. But yeah, this is what I'm at right now. And I have been trying to at least spend a little bit of time coming up with a theme for at least each week to keep me focused on the planner again, to not let things die. And I've been able to do a pretty good job with that, I think. I've definitely given myself a lot more grace than I normally do as far as when I do the setup. So sometimes it comes out great, sometimes it's a little bit hodgepodgey, but I don't mind either way. Just something pretty to look at while the week goes through. And then we have the monthly pages for April. Again, this is in the back. So this is my monthly checklist, again with the goals. Over here, I have my social stats now on the front of this. On the back, we have my social schedule with all the ideas I had that didn't come to fruition. And you can see this month was basically empty, so I didn't do anything social-wise. Okay, so I've jumped ahead to my March health planner. There are some other little things in the back of my agenda planner and my social that I'm just going to skip over because they are either active or have things that I'm not sharing online. So this is my health planner. I've been using the monthly section of my health planner for tracking my workouts, as well as tracking my total calories that I ate in a day, as well as the protein ingested. Like I said, I had set this up for a different type of month. The sciatica really started to hit, so I really let it just fade into nothingness near the end here. For my health planner, I do a simple monthly setup, usually with just either some washi or some PET tape, nothing too complicated, one marker color and call it good, just so I can simplify my life a little bit, but keep it fun and colorful. So this month, you'll see the monthly pages have this kind of, I don't know, branchy, gardeny PET tape in all greens with my green mild liner. This next spread is my health overview spread, and here I track my health habits. And again, did not go to plan. I usually would put in my workout schedule, but again, didn't even get that far this month. And then I have my daily steps, which, it looks like I forgot to even enter in 2 days. So I'm going to have to go back and do that just so I have the step count for those 2 days. But I just didn't realize I didn't put those in. Interesting. This is just a good way for me to try to see if I'm getting to my goal to 10,000 steps. And when I'm healthy, it's definitely a lot better. But I still was keeping up, trying to get out for walks, at least for some kind of exercise, if my condition allowed. Here is how the first week turned out, and this may have been a plan with me that I did. I really like this one. It's kind of got that colorful, kind of busy city vibe, which is fun. I track my stats from my Apple Watch on every day, as well as my food log, so what I ate, and then I will track the workout I did, how long I did it, and how many calories burned during that workout. So that's my normal routine, and that's what you'll see on most of the weeklies, when it's a normal week at least. When this one was super fun, I really love a gradient spread. So I did this fruit spread with some PET stickers, or I don't know if these are really PET, but this sticker roll that I got from Journal Say, and did a gradient theme with that, but all tracking the same things. So this was the week where I just really didn't have the bandwidth to keep up with everything. So I let my health planner kind of sit tight here, and I just put that I was resting for my sciatica. Then again, I had that vacation week and I wasn't tracking anything. So I also had the sciatica during that time and didn't do anything for this week as well. On the back, I usually will track my health overview of meds and supplements that I'm taking, as well as any symptoms I'm having with my chronic issues, along with this new thing. And so you can see how I've tracked that as well. These are all available in my shop as inserts. Now we're on to April. In April, this was another one that I did kind of after the fact, and I started using the spread before it was set up. So I ended up picking out this color and then using this PET tape for some decor, and it turned out pretty good. I started adding notes more about the sciatica issues and how I was feeling, other than the total calories and protein, since I just can't do it all when I'm feeling bad. So I just focused on one thing, and it was just either getting some exercise. I just could not track what I was eating or any of that. I was just like, I got to figure out how to make myself feel better. So that's what I was focused in on, and just making little notes if there was something good or bad happening with me in that arena. And then we have that health overview again. I had nothing planned for this, so I just left it blank. Again, I put in my healthy habits, but it really wasn't able to keep up with most things. And then I have my steps here as well. And I ended up switching because I started out with that gray mod liner and I was keeping it going for a while, but I wanted to switch to this purple color to kind of go with the rest of the monthly pages. So I just switched it. And that's how that turned out. Had another non-set up health page here. And this was, I think, the week that I came back from vacation. Wasn't feeling too bad. And then this week I was starting to feel a little bit better, so I actually had time to set this one up. I did it really fast too and didn't overthink it. So just laid down some washi and some florals with a box across the middle and my stat tracking stickers. And that's it. So a pretty simple spread for me. And I was able to get out and do a few workouts, but again, it was very inconsistent on how often I could do things. And I had set this one up as well, it looks like. I don't know how I was feeling this week, but it was probably a quick, like less than an hour setup. I threw down some stickers and again with the washi, it looks very similar to what you just saw. So it was just, using that formula, stick it down and hope for the best. Don't overthink it too much. And then this one I set up, I did a pretty good job on this one. I'm not sure how I was feeling this week. It might have been something where I did it in spurts where I maybe gathered the stickers that I thought I wanted to use at some point and then came back to it later in the day or another day and then tried to set it up so that it wasn't all at once, me figuring things out in one sitting. And I did do a few things. I did walk a little bit more this week, but not too many. I don't think I did any gym workouts now. So sciatica was still giving me a little bit of trouble during this time period. And then this week it was just really bad. So just another week of not setting it up, not tracking and just letting it be. That's how the health weeklies ended. And then I have my health overview spread here with, again, my meds and supplements, as well as my symptom tracking here. And that's pretty much it for my health planner for the last 2 months. We will jump ahead now to the end of my health planner. I do have my health stats here from April, and I did get a chance to fill those ones out. Surprisingly, I did a little bit better than I did in March as far as steps and mileage, but exercise minutes and everything, I think overall was pretty much down. So it's been better, but just trying to stay positive and not let things go completely and do as much as I can while I'm feeling good. Now we're on to my March faith. I really loved the way that this theme turned out. I did this rainy day rainbow theme and I just loved it. So this one was very cute and colorful. I used the monthly layout for tracking the Bible verses that I read daily from my Bible in a Year plan. And basically anytime there's a start, that's a missed day. And usually what I'll do is I will make up the days sometime later. So there may be extra verses in my daily reading where I do a double up or a triple up even after the fact to catch up. So that's pretty much what happened here. A lot of missed days. It depended on how I was feeling in the morning, and a lot of the time the mornings are the worst for me. So it was a struggle to keep up with the daily planning and reading. This was my faith overview spread, and here I've got my prayer list. I've also got the habits I like to track, my morning prayer, reading, lettering, and then gratitude. And then I usually will do my monthly summary, my little spiritual check-in here on this side. But again, loved this theme. Here's how the first week turned out. I was doing a pretty good job with the lettering in the beginning of the month, but it falls off pretty quick, as you'll see. And here I'm lettering the verse of the day from the app I use, which is the YouVersion Bible app. I use that as well for my daily Bible plan. Again, missed a few days here and there. This is when things started to escalate, but I was trying to keep up with it as much as I could when I could. And here I got one good one in, and then this one I had set up, but I didn't even get a chance to pin it in. I was probably having some pain and just like decided to get back to it later and just never did. So that's how it is. And I think that was probably the last one that I ended up doing because I had vacation week the next week. Yeah. And that was pretty much it. So that was how March turned out. It's been hard to kind of let things go, but my body's telling me to focus on what I can and let the rest be. And that's what I've been trying to do. So this was my setup for Easter month. Easter was early April. I think it was on the 5th here. So I decided to set up these pages with kind of an Eastery theme with the cross and a lot of florals using the blue and the yellow. I feel like that has an Easter vibe to it. So that's what I went with. And I really like how it turned out as far as that goes. Got to use these stickers that I recently got from Journal Say, which I liked. And again, tracking all the same things, my Bible readings. Got my overview pages here, and I really just decided to leave the lettering. It was just too long a thing for me to focus in on a daily basis. So that's what I decided to do. I did leave in these overview pages so I could do a prayer in the morning and remember my prayer list. And then I also have, my daily reading that I was trying to keep up with as much as possible, and decided to do a gratitude as well to try to check in. Did not end up filling out my spiritual check-in here as well. Yeah, just kind of let it be. And I went ahead and just took out all of the weekly pages. I didn't even bother setting those up. So that was all that there was for my faith planner for March and April. I'll probably glue these pages together, so it's just those 2 monthly pages for April. And that's pretty much it for my faith planner. We also have my cleaning schedule here that I decided to put with the Faith Weekly tab, since I wasn't using it for Faith Weeklies, but wanted to check it. So I have it here for now, and I haven't been able to do much cleaning. So a lot of things got left and still need to be tackled. So I'm leaning on my husband a lot right now to do a lot of those smaller things for me, since it's just really a struggle to do anything productive. But I really do like having that in here, so I get a really good view of when's the last time I did things and what needs to be tackled in the month. So I will wipe this down and get the May version going soon, hopefully. The last section we're going to go over is my memory monthly. So I do have my March memory planning pages in here. And basically I just write a highlight from each day as a kind of memory keeping process in my planner, which I love. Did this desert theme since I was going to vacation in Arizona this month. Just wanted to have that, as well as like the super bloom time here, even though, we didn't get out to see any super blooms. And there was nothing going on in Arizona, by the way. So I was disappointed because I thought I would see some there, but no super blooming there. So this is how I set it up. And then on the back, I like to do a currently style page where I highlight what I'm reading, watching, eating, and then sometimes some highlights from the month. So I put those in. And then I did April as well. And for April, I'm pretty sure I just threw this together with some florals I had and some washi tape. Again, kind of did it when I had a moment where I could sit and I could just throw it together. Not a lot of thought, just something simple. So this is how the month turned out as far as the theme. And again, just tracking how each day was going. And then on the back, we've got, again, when I'm watching, eating, reading, and then a little bit of a highlight of what happened in April. So at the back of that schedule section, we move on to the reference section. And this tab needs a little bit of help. It's starting to really look worn. So I'll probably reprint that as soon as I get a chance. So this is the 5th section. And in here, I have a dashboard. And then we get into my long-term storage pages, or tabs, I should say. Personal. And then we have business, work, and then social. So this is where I just keep anything I want to have on hand in those categories. This is just like where they live. And then finally, we have my common placing section in the back here. This is where I've decided to keep my commonplace book pages that I used to have in a separate planner, but decided to consolidate and keep them in here so that I could reference them and also be more proactive of common placing on a daily, weekly, monthly basis. I did do a separate video about common placing and this part of my planner if you want to know more about how I'm using it, but that's where it lives. I also have some extra, this extra pocket pages in here. Pocket folder. I have this extra pocket folder that I made on camera. Oh, it's kind of jacked up too here. What happened here? I think it came unglued. Oh, I see what happened. It's just been shoved in here and it's not happy. I didn't laminate or anything, so it just needs a little bit of, I think, TLC to keep it from falling apart on me. But I'm using that to hold some stickers that I have used in the past for my common placing. I have some note paper back here. And then I also moved my reading log library cards into the back of my planner system, which I like better just because, I don't know, I just liked it in the back better. So I've been trying to keep up with this, although I think I'm a little bit behind on the books that I've read, but I'm pretty close to caught up on that. I really like this system. It's just an easy way to keep track of what I've read. And I have years and years, literally, of these library cards from my other planner. So I did the mini version now that I'm in half letter, but I did a larger classic size-ish version for my classic size planner in the past. So that's pretty much it. Then we have our back cover. And that's all of the flip through. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Thanks for sticking with me. If you guys are longtime subscribers and have missed my videos, it probably will be a while until it feels real consistent again on my channel. But for now, I'm just trying to squeeze in videos here and there when I feel like I can do it. So things might just pop up. So make sure you have your notifications on if you really want to catch those videos when they come out. And with that, thank you for watching. Again, I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up down below. Also, to go ahead and leave me a comment if you'd like to get in touch. And think about subscribing to my channel if you haven't already, if you'd like to see more of my videos. Thank you guys so much for watching. I really appreciate each and every one of you. Thanks for sticking with me, and I will see you next time. Bye.